The night the mistake happened, the rain was falling like the city itself was tired of holding its tears. Daniel Harper gripped the steering wheel of his delivery van, his knuckles white, his heart heavier than the box of flowers resting on the passenger seat. He was exhausted, broke, and running late again, wondering how a single wrong turn could unravel an already fragile life. He had no idea that this one small mistake, this single delivery to the wrong hotel room, was about to change everything he believed about love, loneliness, and second chances. Before the story pulls you deeper, if you believe that kindness can change destinies and that second chances are real, take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to the channel for more emotional stories like this. And tell us in the comments where you're watching from, your support truly means the world. Daniel had never planned to become a single father. Life had made that decision for him the day his wife passed away, leaving him alone with a 3-year-old son in a mountain of grief he didn't know how to climb. Every morning since then began the same way, waking up before dawn in their tiny apartment, preparing breakfast with tired hands, and dropping little Noah off at a neighbor's place before heading out to work. Flower delivery wasn't glamorous, but it paid just enough to keep the lights on and food on the table. Each bouquet he carried felt like a reminder that love existed everywhere else but in his own life. That evening, his final delivery was to an exclusive 5-star hotel downtown, the kind of place Daniel usually avoided because it made him feel invisible. The order was extravagant: rare white lilies, imported roses, a handwritten note sealed with gold, clearly meant for someone important. Fatigue blurred his focus as he stepped into the elevator, misreading the room number scribbled on his phone. When the doors opened, he followed instinct instead of logic, knocked once, and left the flowers at the door of the wrong suite before hurrying away, unaware of the ripple he had just set in motion. Inside that room lived Alexander Reed, a man the world knew as a billionaire visionary and business genius, but who privately lived surrounded by silence. Wealth had given him everything except warmth. His days were filled with boardrooms and contracts, his nights with empty rooms and unspoken regrets. When he found the flowers outside his door, confusion washed over him first, then something far more dangerous: hope. No one ever sent him flowers. No one thought of him in that way. He stood there for a long time, staring at the bouquet like it might disappear if he blinked. By the time Daniel realized the mistake, panic clawed at his chest. A wrong delivery could cost him his job, and losing this job meant losing stability for his son. The next morning, with Noah holding his hand and fear tightening his throat, Daniel returned to the hotel to apologize and retrieve the flowers if possible. He felt small walking through the marble lobby, rehearsing his apology again and again, expecting anger or humiliation. Instead, what he encountered was something unexpected. Alexander had been waiting. The moment he saw Daniel, soaked from the rain and carrying himself with quiet humility, something shifted inside him. There was no yelling, no threat, just a calm curiosity, and an invitation to sit, to explain. Daniel poured out the truth, about being tired, about being a father, about trying his best and still falling short. His words weren't polished, but they were honest, and honesty was something Alexander hadn't encountered in a very long time. Days turned into weeks, and that accidental meeting became a gentle routine. Daniel returned to the hotel, first to fix the mistake, then to deliver flowers properly, and eventually just to check in. Alexander found himself looking forward to those moments more than any business success. Daniel's life, though difficult, was filled with purpose, with small joys like Noah's laughter and bedtime stories. Alexander's life, though luxurious, felt hollow in comparison. Slowly, quietly, their worlds began to overlap. Challenges didn't disappear. Daniel struggled with guilt, wondering if he was reaching beyond his place, worried about how a man like Alexander could ever truly understand his reality. Alexander battled his own demons: fear of vulnerability, fear that affection was just another transaction. Society whispered its doubts too, questioning their bond, their differences, their courage to care. But every shared moment chipped away at those fears, replacing them with trust. The turning point came on an ordinary evening, when Alexander watched Daniel help Noah tie his shoes, patient and gentle, as if nothing else in the world mattered. In that moment, Alexander understood what he had been missing his entire life: not wealth, not power, but connection. Love that wasn't earned through success, but given freely through presence and care. What began as companionship deepened into something neither of them could deny. It wasn't loud or dramatic. It was quiet, steady, and real. Love grew in the spaces between their differences, in the shared meals, the late-night talks, the understanding glances. And when Alexander finally asked Daniel to stay, not as a visitor but as family, the answer felt inevitable. Their marriage wasn't about headlines or scandals. It was about two lonely souls choosing each other, choosing to build something honest out of broken beginnings. Daniel found security not just in wealth, but in being seen and valued. Alexander found a home not in his mansion, but in the warmth of a small family that loved him without conditions. Noah found a second father, and laughter filled rooms that once echoed with silence. If this story is touching your heart right now, please pause for a second and show your love by liking the video, sharing it with someone who believes in destiny, and subscribing to the channel. Your engagement helps these stories reach more hearts like yours. Life didn't become perfect after that, but it became meaningful. The wrong delivery turned into the right choice. A single mistake rewrote 3 lives forever. And sometimes, love doesn't knock loudly, sometimes it's left quietly at the wrong door, waiting for someone brave enough to open it. Before this story ends, we would truly love to know your thoughts. Please comment below what this story made you feel and whether you believe mistakes can sometimes be miracles in disguise.